Hey, dailies across the world. I'm glad you could join me on this one. This one is a little bit of a different setup. Those that's watching you on TikTok, major salute to you. YouTube, major salute to you over here. And Facebook, a major salute to you. So we got a different setup over here. We just had to do a little bit of, had to brighten things up a bit. The dark was it was a little bit too dark. But I want to talk to you about, are you really living, or are you living but dead? Are you the walking dead? And I tell you why. I was visiting the gravesite. So where I used to live, there was a gravesite next door. And today was my last day there, and I went to go visit it. And it just made me realize, this is what it made me realize. It made me realize that some of us, and let me know if this is you, some of us are living on this earth. However, it's almost like life's challenges, it's almost like the issues of life has quenched the passion that we had. You and I both know that back in the day when you were younger, you had multiple passions, whether it was becoming an astronaut, or becoming a doctor, or a lawyer, or becoming that childlike persona. It's still somewhere here, but it's buried under the issues of life, under everything that has come with becoming older on this earth. You know what I'm talking about, right? If you resonate with me right there, just put it in the comments over there. And a part of me is like, you know what? I refuse. I refuse to live life dead. And the main purpose of this video, and we're going to really dive deep into this video, is to really awaken those passions that has been dormant inside of you because of life. Now, we cannot negate the fact that we have gone through major issues, right? Whether it was being in major debt, whether it was a major health scare. Talking about health, I remember myself this was probably 4 or 5 years back. I put on so much weight because I wanted to get big. And this is going to go really deep down the rabbit hole. I wanted to get big because I thought getting big would get me more attention. It would make women like me more. It would intimidate people that I come across. And me getting bigger and putting on weight, unhealthy weight, just massive fat. I looked big, but it wasn't muscle. It was more fat. It was becoming to the point of where my blood pressure was constantly high. I would wake up in the morning and physically I would look great, no? I would look good, but I could feel my hands like tight. And it was because of all the water retention. Just all that water retention. And it came to a point of where just walking long distances would get me out of breath. And just to go a bit deeper down that hole, I had to really do introspection as to why I was doing what I was doing. And this is the underlying question that's really going to get you out of this rabbit hole that you find yourself in, where you feel like there's no passion for life anymore. You lost your mojo. We're going to get a little woo-woo, but we're also going to get a little practical, so stick with me. And I had to realize, you know what? If I want to live long, I had to drop the pounds. I had to really investigate, hey, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I want people's attention? Yes, check. Am I doing this because it all boiled down to getting the people's attention? But it was, why was I doing this? Well, it was doing it because there was an issue. There was an issue with how I felt about myself. And there's a book called Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. And this book talks about your self-worth, and how you view yourself and how you attract things in your life is all based on how you view yourself. And that's just a brief synopsis of it. It goes really deep into the rabbit hole. I'd encourage you to read it. Psycho-Cybernetics. And I had to realize it all stemmed from my self-worth, how I viewed myself, how I felt about myself. Now, my question to you is, as you're listening to me talk right now, is there a part of you that is also very self-conscious? Is there a part of you that is a little bit on the low end when it comes to your self-worth and your self-esteem? Just really think about it right now. And I tell you why. This is so important. Ladies and gents, this is so important because the Bible says, and if you know the scripture, put it down in the comments below, but it says that all the issues of life stems from the heart. Now, this is important because it also means so when it comes to your heart, it really talks about, and I'm going to bring this into the context of your self-worth, your self-love. How's your self-love? And this is important because you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. And when I look at all the things that I was attracting in my life, and this is throwing no shade to past experiences, past people that I met, it's just an observation right now that I see in my own life. Everything that I attracted came because of how I felt about myself. Everything. So my relationships was a reflection of how I loved myself. How my relationships turned out was a reflection of how much I loved myself. What I ate was a reflection of how much I loved myself. What I did with my time was a reflection. How I treated my body, whether I worked out or not, my eating habits was a reflection. Everything was a reflection of how much I loved myself. And, being in a state of when you are single, and maybe you are single right now and you are watching this, whether you're watching it now or you're going to watch it on the replay. Before going into, and this is something I spoke about in depth on my YouTube channel. I spoke about the dangers of being single for too long. But this is kind of the context where I want to bring it in. Before when you are single, newly single right now, before trying to find someone, trying to say, hey, look, I need to find someone to fill the space. What I had to do was I had to really do introspection as to, hey, where is my self-love meter right now? Because if I attract who I am, and if my level of self-love is a parameter of who I'm going to attract, I've got to make sure that I really, really love myself. And we've all heard this, and this is not coming from a space of excuses, being single on purpose, aspris, no? Being single on purpose because you are scared of finding someone. No. This is coming out of a space of where, hey, look, if I don't love myself, I'm not going to bring someone in the space, because at the end of the day, I'm going to ruin myself and I'm going to ruin others. And this was a tough pill to swallow, because knowing that I attract who I am and I attract on the same level of my self-love, it was a tough pill to swallow. But I'm happy to say now I'm at the space of where whoever I attract in my life right now, I am so certain that I'm going to attract someone healthy. I'm going to attract someone emotionally stable. I'm going to attract someone on the same, you know what I mean? on the same frequency. Soos sal sê. Wat sê hulle hier in die comments? Someone is saying on the comments here, Dylan Brown, if this is the same Dylan Brown, shout out to you. Say, whenever I decided to go bald, I look amazing with my hair. When I was 29, I had started reseeding. And I thought to myself, instead of just growing it out and having this, let me just go completely bald. Maintenance, much better maintenance. All right, let's get back to it. First question, would I date me? Yeah, that's a good thing. Asking, would I date me? That's a good question right there. Asking, would you date you? Let's get back on track. So now that we know that our self-worth is so critical, because everything stems from our self-worth. When you look around you right now, like literally look around you, touch the walls, look at the carpet, look at the couches. Everything is a reflection of two things, of your self-worth, and it's a reflection on the decisions you've made. One author said the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your decisions. I believe that was Anthony Robbins. So it's intertwined. Your self-worth will determine your decisions, and your decisions will determine what's happening in this current physical world. So I really want us to really hone in to the aspect of self-worth and how we love ourselves, how we view ourselves. Now, this gets even deeper because this goes into the territory of past trauma, past incidences that happened to us. And this is, of course, all dealt with through multiple mediums, through therapy, through trauma release therapy, trauma release meditation, professional help, spiritual help. Some people use psychedelics. So this is another issue on its own. But I want this video to be the catalyst for us to start thinking about, hey, what's currently happening in my life? And why is it happening? And the reason is it's all stemming from, number one, your self-worth, which is determining the decisions that you make, which ultimately is maybe causing an ambulance to be in your vicinity because there's emergencies that's happening currently in your life. Now, this might sound simple, but it's not. However, this is the first framework that I want you to keep in mind. I want you to know that when you take self-accountability for everything that's happening in your life, there's a book by the name of Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. And this book talks about, and this title of the book is Extreme Ownership. Now, I'm not saying that everything is your fault. However, I want you to have the paradigm of taking ownership. And I tell you why. When you have this paradigm, it takes you out of the victimhood thinking. It takes you out of the thinking of everything is happening to me because of X, Y, and Z. Maybe it did happen because of Y and Z. But if you take responsibility and you say, hey, what was my role in this? And what can I do better next time? It's a much stronger frame to come from as opposed to a victim mentality. Because you and I both know the victim mentality is the number one dream breaker. It's the number one cause of your mojo being, it's the number one cause of your motivation and your drive to be completely eliminated out of your life. It's that the victim mentality. Ish. But hey, look, if you agreed with anything I said, if you disagreed with anything I said, if you want to add anything to this conversation, make sure to do so. Put it in the comments below. I am active in the comments as much as I can, especially in the beginning stages of the release of this video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't on YouTube. TikTok, make sure to follow. And of course, Facebook, make sure to come through to the YouTube, because on YouTube, I release videos on a daily, driven daily. We release videos on a daily. So make sure to subscribe there, put the notification bell on. And remember, just to recap, remember that your self-worth is so important. And this is a daily practice. It's not something you get right immediately and you're done. It's a daily practice where we keep the tank full. No? Otherwise, hey, look, we are not here just to survive. We are here to thrive. And until next time, peace.